Okay. It wouldn't be a show without StreamYard issues, right? Got
Right?
booted in the intro. Pretty cool. Love that. Love that. About 30 seconds after the intro started, got booted. So, yay. It, it's when you've been off for a week and it's kind of like, whoa, that's cool. Okay, something you didn't expect. Yeah, a wrench thrown into everything. But I'm still a little nervous too. I tested out my ear yesterday. Everything seemed okay, but I'm still a little nervous. Had a massive ear infection that kicked off. I was starting to get an ear infection at the end of last week, and then I think I pushed it too much on Friday because literally like 5-10 minutes into the show Friday, it was starting to ring, ring, ring. Had to go to the had to go to the emergency room afterwards. Yeah, it was pretty bad, and it hurt like all living hell. And so I was like, okay, I was even talking with Jennifer in the background the beginning of last week. I was like, all right, I think I should be good by Wednesday. And that thing just kept lingering. And then I was still even nervous yesterday, but tested out the ear for a little while with the earbud, and everything seems okay so far. So fingers crossed, because man, that's a pain that I don't wish upon anybody. Oh my God. That ear infection was horrible, man. It just hurt so bad, the pressure and all that. But we got Jennifer on the show, and then also I love this back. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add myself to every every scene. I see. So thank you, StreamYard. We'll get the comments highlighted real quick, and I wanted to share something real quick because I think it's a really cool photo, and it's the start of a really cool journey that I want to share with you guys here for a second. So let me add myself and everything else to the next scene here as we get started. It was already done, but there we go. And I have to share this screen right here, My True Crime with Jennifer G. It's her true crime channel. So I dropped the link in the chat, and I'll drop it again if you're just joining. And this is going to be the start of her journey for My True Crime. Now, we know she's been on the show last week and first called in um, shortly before that, but you've been a member of the community for a very long time. If you want to let anybody know, kind of when you started becoming part of the community, and what kind of interests you in general. I know you did all your digging stuff before you even came across our community. So, like, what inspired you to do your digging? What inspired you to dig into things? You never really made content or stuff like that, but it's kind of one of these things where it's going to take something that's your passion, and you're going to kind of start off in a new venture with your passion. If you want to explain to people, like, what made you get interested in true crime, so to speak, in general.
Yeah, sure. I've always liked true crime. Even as a kid, I used to read books about true crime, lots of fiction mysteries, and just became a passion. And I started researching things on my own just for fun and came across your channel. Um, just being a victim myself of crime, uh, it it gave me this passion just to kind of get the truth out there and help people, tell my story, and hopefully that will help somebody else in their journey.
Yeah, because personal experiences and the ability to express those through words really does and can make a difference to people, because it can bridge that gap between confusion and understanding. And having different perspectives and different experiences and being able to share those with knowledge of cases that we talk about, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of us are interested in why we do the work that we do or report it the way that we report it, is because we all either are victims or have family members that have been victims. And so it's important to us. We're not here to, make you go ooh and ah. We're here to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And so
Right.
that can really help make a difference, to people, because it also can help build a community where people, with similar experiences can also be together with other people that understand. And so I appreciate you, being a part of the community, been a part of the community for a very long time. And we appreciate it. And, appreciate you for calling in a couple weeks ago. And then it, kind of led to what we're doing here. And so, really appreciate you being, not only with your digging and stuff like that, but your knowledge, how you present it. It's all about respect and compassion for not only the victims, but the families, but also you're going to you're going to say the truth, even if it happens to include people that, get offended. It's about the truth, it's about the
Yeah.
truth.
It's
No
not always
BS.
easy to tell either.
Yeah.
People don't they don't really know what goes on behind the scenes and what it's actually really like. We see the headlights, we see the news stories and the articles, but no one really knows what it's like on the inside. And
Yeah.
then, what happens after. There's so much more that people just don't know about.
Yeah. Because it's not a light switch. It doesn't just shut off,
Yeah.
when a particular, you know, time frame is passed or whatever. What's up, Caddy? Good morning. Good morning, Rosie. Rosie, she might be joining the panel here after a little
Ooh.
bit. She's out doing some work right now. But if she's not too exhausted, she's been busy all week. So if she's not too exhausted, I can't wait to have her up here today as well. And listening while I work. So excited for this one. Well, it's been a week. There's been so much stuff that has been happening through the true crime cases, and I figure we'll just kind of go through and update. I mean, hell, a new interview from Mackenzie's dad dropped yesterday, so I can't wait to check that. Chris Cuomo, Chris Cuomo had him on, and it's the uncut version.
Oh,
I
really?
Yeah, so you know what that tells me, Jennifer? That tells me that he said some shit that Cuomo's like, everybody's got to hear this. That's
Oh,
what
it's
that
gotta be
tells me.
good.
that's that's what that tells me. The full uncut interview before I saw just the regular one. Okay, buddy. I know what that means. What's up, Busby? Hopefully you're doing good, trying to stay connected again. I can't wait to have Busby back up on panel when he gets everything fixed, man. Miss that guy.
Hi, Busby.
Yeah, and it's summertime, so it's not going to be too cold for him to go chill by the lake and hang out on panel for some shows.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, what's up? Hopefully you're doing good. If you enjoy the live stream, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe, comment, and share it out to your socials and friends. Nobody knows, nobody gets notified that we're live, so you gotta help us. Help it. Well, no fault. Like, I've had like sinus issues. I took that break after the Idaho 4 plea deal last summer. I took that break 5 or 6 months, needed a refresh, a reboot. Um, and then we did some shows for, the first few months, and the algorithm was fine. People were getting notified. Not everybody, but a decent amount of people were getting notified. And then the sinus shit that's been happening for a couple months, and then that last sinus uh, thing turned into an ear infection, and oof, oh my god. So yeah, so
That took
fingers
you
crossed,
out.
man.
You almost got taken
Dude,
out by an earache.
dude, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I just want to do my damn show, man. And you don't have headphones. It's we kind of experienced, if you don't have headphones with StreamYard, it's not very it's, the audio just gets a little buggy. But oh, I did want to do one thing, because I always do this at the beginning of the month, the first day. And unfortunately, today is the 6th day of the month. And so I can't do it till now, but I want to gift, because this is a cool thing, uh, as a creator, that I can gift free subs every month. So I'm going to send out 5 free subs right now. And we'll go ahead and do 5 again. Well, you know what? Let's save. Well, yeah, we'll save it. We'll save it for tomorrow. I'll do the other 5 tomorrow. But it's cool because you get 10 a month. See? EvilleCJ Media. Well, that it
Huh.
just says membership. There we go. Gifted. Yeah, the new StreamYard stuff they have updated. It's pretty cool. Like it actually shows you contributions with a different color. You able to see that? You see how it's red now on StreamYard?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
cool, huh? Okay. So yeah, Mackenzie's dad came out on Chris Cuomo. I was like, damn. So I bet that's got to be interesting. It's an hour and a half interview though. That's
Hour and
quite
a
lengthy.
half.
Yeah. He
He needs
says
a PR spokesperson.
they
He's
just
not
need
good at
they
public
just need
speaking.
to shut up, man, cuz like um even like okay, like let's be honest. I think we can all agree to this, right? Oh, no problem, Candy. I think we can all agree to this, right? Let's be honest. When it comes to the right, okay, Netflix doc, because unless you were local, you didn't really pay attention to this case. It wasn't one of those national media, and because otherwise it would have been talked about freaking years ago. But uh, it's crazy because the document is where most people came across this case, right? It's fair to say.
Mhm.
Okay. From that document, and anybody in chat, comment section, and even you, Jennifer, did you not come away with the impression that they should have had somebody tell them to shut the fuck up in the Netflix doc? Right?
No, you're right.
Right.
You're
It's
right.
not like this progression of mom and dad and Mackenzie like, ooh, you shouldn't have said that. Ooh, you shouldn't have said that. Right? Like this has been happening since hell, since the trial. When the judge even like said to the mom about Davion, like, he's important too. Oh no, I wasn't saying that, right? Like
Yeah.
even from back then. So it's not like I don't under like unless people, because why hasn't, unless it's ego, I don't know, it could be ego of these individuals, but I'm surprised like they haven't had somebody that is freaking well grounded mentally say to them, you should probably not talk anymore,
Right.
or at least quit coming up with different excuses,
Yeah.
because it's
Well,
crazy.
that too, and he's a teacher at a
Not anymore.
Catholic school.
Not
Not well,
anymore.
yeah, not anymore. Well, before he
He's
lost that position,
he's
he
done.
shouldn't have been saying the things he said and then expected to keep his job.
Right, you
That's
haven't you
common
ha
sense. I think all of
you
us were pretty shocked that, you're a
yeah.
teacher and you're out here online talking
Saying
about
that your minor daughter can smoke
yes.
weed. Yeah, that's fine. I don't
Yeah.
see nothing wrong with it. Yeah. So and it's crazy because now this is what's nuts is if he was that way with his daughter, then why in the hell was this campaign to get him suspended initially started from the students of his class? Right? So if he's
Yeah, that
that
speaks volumes that it was the students that spoke up and
right,
not
and
staff.
to me that says he let his daughter run his life and he took it out on his students because they couldn't give him the pushback that his daughter got that made him relinquish power to her. So I
Yeah.
think he took it out on his students. Now, I also heard he was a well-liked teacher, so maybe it was a thing where he was like passive aggressive, and maybe that's why he was the way with his daughter, passive aggressive, like I'm gonna let you walk all over me, walk all over me, walk all over me, and then on the seventh day I snap the F out. And then I'm gonna keep letting you walk all over me, walk all over me, walk. I'm gonna snap the F out. He's and maybe those students that he snapped the F out on were the ones that because I'm sure like the emotions of that guy, I mean, being a student, yeah, he was probably funny and he probably let you get away with some shit. But at the same
Mhm.
time, he could probably be one of the biggest assholes you ever met in your life too. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's just yeah, the fact that you're on there saying, she's 17. I, I don't see any problem with it. It's no wonder if the schools wouldn't have suspended him, that would have been a problem
Yeah.
because that's a you can't promote that shit in school. You know, there's already a
Mhm.
problem with children. If you're 18 and you're adult, smoke as many as you want. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. But when you're a kid, you know, you got to be focused. You got to be focused because really, all of those decisions that you make before you turn 18 determine a lot of the decisions that you need to make after you turn 18. So you need to be totally focused and have a certain path that you need to stay on, and then after that party the f out, be a teenager, be a young adult, uh roam, do your thing. um so yeah, that's I can't wait to hear. I just saw the uncut interview and I was like so I wanted to talk to you about the oh, go ahead if you have something to
Oh,
say
no,
on
go
that
ahead.
somewhere. I wanted to talk to you guys and you also some more about while we're on this subject about the positions of how they were laying when they were discovered. Now, this is what's crazy to me. So you know how when we first came started talking about it, and I was before the Dom text came out that was revealed that he was breaking up with her right before the crash.
Right.
Um, so right when we saw the the video of the evidence at the trial, I was telling people before we knew that breakup was pretty much the reason that the crash took place. Um, we saw how it was put in neutral a couple times and all that. But the thing was, is yeah, there's changes in the gears and things, but but there was no changes in the brake and the gas, and so it was like that was deliberate. He probably was like, I'm done with you, babe, it's over. And she's like, F it, I'm gonna take us all out. Then the Dom texts come out showing that right before the crash he was pretty much done with her. He was done with her a couple weeks before that, and now it's come
Mhm.
out that she tried to do the same frickin' thing, but she was able to be stopped. And
Yeah.
that's what comes back to those one texts that came out earlier about how she was trying to say that he tried to kill her by grabbing the wheel and this and that, right?
Mhm.
So, ever since then, we've sat and thought, okay, what did she try and, you know, obviously he was trying to change the gears because it wouldn't be her. So he was trying to change the gears. It's like Dom was aware, Davion was aware of what the hell was going on. He already been through this a couple weeks before, and he was able to turn the wheel and able to stop it. And the thing is she probably wasn't ready to do it the couple weeks before. She got close, but she wasn't able to fully do it, and that's probably why the car stopped. They weren't necessarily on a road that on the highway. It's not like she could just keep going and hit a building. It would have been
Mhm.
a lot more obstacles to accomplish that. And that's why I think she cased where she cased, because she already knew this is coming. Even though you're begging, and he's like trying to let a psycho down, like, just okay, okay, just all right, we'll hang out. You know,
Yeah.
she knows what the hell's coming. She knows that he's going to do it again, that he's going to say it again, that he's going to be
Mhm.
done with her again. And she knows that she needs to finish through with it on this time. And that's why she cased it out. Now, when it comes to the car and driving, and how, when we started looking at it, there's that fire hydrant and then there was that sign. So there was that small amount of space that car had to drive through right before that T section in order to miss hitting the sign straight on and to miss hitting that fire hydrant. Because if that car
Right.
would have hit that fire hydrant, it it would have been plunged up into the air.
Mhm.
It
Yep.
would have been projected up into the air if it was going 100. It would have definitely stopped a lot of the momentum, but at the same time, it's not going to stop it completely. That car is going to eventually start to project upward, and it's going to
Mhm.
get launched. And that's not what she wanted. And obstacles, sign, fire hydrant, that can be an obstacle from you accidentally spinning out and you don't even hit the building. You want to make sure that you're trying to do what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because his sister, Dom's sister's like, why didn't he just grab the wheel? And so that made me think, and I'm like, maybe he did, Jennifer. Maybe he did, and that's why she clipped the sign, is because at the last minute he knew they were going straight, and so he himself grabbed the wheel to turn it, which
Mhm.
then made the car turn and go into the corner. He was trying to grab it because he knew it's going straight to it. And I still feel like Mackenzie tried to stop him because lunged over, the front of her body is underneath the passenger side. So I feel like he tried to change the gears again, like it happened 2 weeks prior. And when she wouldn't stop, that's why she didn't push on the brake. She pushed on the gas the whole time while she was lunged over to try and stop him from grabbing the wheel. I think the reason Davion was the way that he was is because he was try and grab the wheel. But there's nothing you can do when you're going 100. And I think I honestly feel like, his sister said, I wish he would have grabbed the wheel. I honestly feel like he really did. And that's what made them not go straight into the building. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, at that high speed and that short area from the street to the corner of that building is not very much room. And so, unfortunately, if they had more room, they probably would have all survived, and it would have just spun around and maybe flipped a couple times or something. They would still be alive, but I feel like he really did try to. So I feel like he did turn the wheel. Um, Now, what's interesting is there's a video, and I don't know if anybody's seen it, There was a video that somebody did, and they took a clip of when her mom, Mackenzie's mom, was giving an impact statement at the sentencing. Okay,
Okay.
and they brought it up and they said Mackenzie called her mom after the accident. Mackenzie's mother knew before anybody was even called, and it's very interesting. She took a clip of this trial or the sentencing. She took a clip of it, and you can hear the mom start off and say, and she called me. I got a call. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's almost like she was alive and they didn't want to. Now, can you imagine you're a parent because the accident happened and it was like a couple hours later that first responders show up? Can you
Yeah.
imagine? Can you imagine? Like you're so hell bent on making sure that your daughter doesn't get involved that you find out that she's in an accident and you have to sit there and wait and then act surprised that she was in an accident when they finally contact you. It was kind of weird because when you see her dad, if anybody's seen that video, and I'm sure you have, you see that
Hmm.
video of her dad and mom at the police station when they're first told. It doesn't look like they're showing genuine reaction and emotion. And I always felt
No.
that was odd from the beginning. And now, when this person did this video, I'm like, holy crap, now I understand why I felt like their emotions were fake when they were first told. Did you get that feeling when you watched the body cam when they were first told at the police station about the accident and then who
Yeah.
died?
Yeah. They seemed like they expected it, but they
Yeah.
weren't. Yeah, they weren't too overly freaked out like um, Dom's mother, and that was a hard
Yeah,
video to
that was,
watch.
oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really
Yeah, the
tough.
Shirillas did not have that same emotional reaction to that.
This is what was shocking
They
to
were
me
playing the
because
name game with the police officers about who else was in the car, because no one knew the names yet.
mhm, yeah. It what stood out to me when I first watched it was you so when people are faking emotion, right?
Mhm.
To the point where they're making a face and sounds that really should be incorporated with a lot of moisture coming out of your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was none of that. There people can see a lot of times people will think, okay, if I just make my face and voice pretend to be this way, then I'm going to be believable. But what
Yeah.
people don't understand is your arms and your legs and your fingers do things too,
Yeah.
right? And they're not.
Facial expressions that don't match true emotion, they're not gonna be there either.
Hmm. Right. And that's what I noticed too about that video. But it was odd to me because at the time I'm like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way because there's nothing that's come out that says that they knew like and to sit there and think like they would know about it hours before and pretend the whole time like they just are learning about it. To me, I just don't see how a parent would or could do that even if you're scandalous as shit. Where you leave your
Yeah.
daughter in that kind of a wreck for frickin' a couple hours to then act surprised so then you can go along with, "Oh, I I had pots and blacked out." Like, to me, that's pretty frickin' devious, man, like, with your
It's
own blood,
horrible.
right?
Yeah.
So, I just why would I think that wasn't the first time that they knew about it, when I watched that? So I'm like, "Why do
Mhm.
I feel this way? I don't know why," and I just dismissed it. But then when I seen this video this week. I was like, whoa, whoa, her mom did get a freaking call from her, and she did know before the cops showed up.
Now, are they saying this Mackenzie called her mom from the car?
The accident. Yeah. Okay, not okay. You'll have to hear what they're saying. Okay.
Okay.
So this is on. I share different things on mostly on Twitter, but also on Facebook. So if you're not following me on Facebook, here's the link. I believe it's the first one that's on the top of my page. So I'm going to share it with you guys. Listen to what just. Okay, that's odd. All right, so just check this out. Just check this out and let me know what you think after this. All right, this is the Big Sister Unhinged that shared it on Facebook. Certified Lover Girl 111 on TikTok. All right, hold on.
Guys, if this isn't enough.
Okay, let me rewind and turn the volume things out of the way. Let me hit like too. All right, check this out. Let me turn this music down just in case it's too loud. Is it too loud? Is that a good balance?
Sounds okay to me.
All right.
Guys, if this isn't enough proof that Mackenzie did what she did, thanks to her mother, I posted this on a video last night, okay? It was a video toward the end as her mom was in court talking to the judge, begging for her daughter's life back. This literally their whole family dynamic and them being a bunch of fucking liars. As she is talking, she slipped up and said that Mackenzie called her. Listen to this shit.
The accident. She called. I got a phone call that there was a car accident. That morning of the accident, she called. I got a phone call that there was a car accident.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I'll play it one more time here.
To this shit.
The accident. She called. I got a phone call that there was a car accident. That morning of the accident, she called. I got a phone call that
she slipped up.
I wonder when that phone call was made, the exact time.
Before anybody showed up.
Do you find it possible for her to make that phone call in the car, considering the condition she was in? I mean, she was folded over pretty much in half in the passenger seat. So I'm just wondering how could she have made a phone call unless she called her before while she was driving, threatening to do something, and then hung the phone up, and then the mom never had a chance to talk her out of it.
Well, I don't know. This is a question I have.
Hey, Rosie.
This is a question I have. Is there a feature? Because who knows? Maybe she knew what was going to happen. Not that she was going to make it through, but maybe sometimes girls put their phones right here. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Could have been there. Maybe she grabbed it while she was lunging onto him just so she had it in case she needed to call for help. You know what you're going to do. Maybe she had it with her, but this is also a question I have is there a feature on your phone, and I'm sure there is, where you can say, hey, phone, call mom. Calling mom. You don't need to be touching it.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Rosie.
It's evening. How is everyone?
Doing good. What did you get to hear that? Did you get to hear that?
I heard a little about the mom slipping up.
Yeah, here, I'll play it one more.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play it one more time here. Play it one more time. Let me see. Let's go down to here. I'll play it one more time. Here we go. Check this out.
Shit.
the accident. She called. I got a phone call that there was a car accident. That morning of the accident, she called. I got a phone call that there was a car accident.
And she's not even looking at the judge. She's looking up and off to the side. So let me tell you something. when you're looking up and to the side, you're searching.
Yeah.
You're searching. You're searching. You're searching. You're trying. Yeah. So the fact that she's looking up off to the side, slipped up twice, just right there. I. Uh, to me, what happened was the accident happened. She was still alive. Right after the accident took place, and needed to call her mom because she was scared. That's when the mom was probably the one trying to calm her down. Okay, honey, listen. We're just going to tell him this. We're just going to tell him this. She was the one. I honestly feel like all these things that the dad and the daughters say, the excuses, the reasons, even the shit like, if she wanted to kill him, she would have shot him. Like, all this stuff.
Who says that?
Right, or if
No one.
if it was just Davion, then she wouldn't even be in jail right now. Like, I bet you the mom is the architect of everything, and it was her spending time on the phone. The cops have to have the police records to show this.
Yeah.
They have to. Have those records been released? The phone logs?
Not logs, as far as I know.
I haven't seen them.
I think it's just text message dumps and
Yeah.
Instagram and photos.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a text. It'd be a, phone, call mom. Calling mom. It'd be one of those. So that'd be interesting. So if anybody sees any kind of phone logs come out, that would be interesting. I guarantee. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, because remember, the dad came in right away and was wanting her phone. That's my phone. That's my phone. I need it. I need it to call my other kids. That's how we communicate. And then they went back. Oh, that's her phone. Well, let's go check. We're going to see what's going on with it. They go back and check. The police are like, this is her phone. He's lying. They go back and tell him, no, this is her phone. We're going to be keeping it. That's the reason why. They didn't want. I really do feel, I don't know, when the docs come out, and they will eventually, that's what I'm going to be interested in, is these phone call logs, because I don't know, I just got that feeling like she really did call her, and they were on the phone for a while. The mom was calming her down and coming up with the concoction of what was going to be said. This is what you do when they show up. Pretend like you're knocked out. Right? Pretend like you're knocked out, and all of a sudden, yeah, my name's Mackenzie, as they're pulling
She came
you out
to
of the
pretty
car.
quick.
Right.
I thought that was odd.
Right.
She was speaking very clearly too,
Mm-hmm.
which that did stand out to me.
Yeah. Because the best way to give the Potts blacked out argument is if you're blacked out when they show up.
I
So, yeah.
guess.
I thought that was interesting, the little slip up. We haven't watched that yet, and maybe we'll do that at some point coming up here. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different cases this morning for a little bit, and then be back on later tonight with the specific shows. Speaking about documents, the Idaho4 autopsy results were finally released a week ago. We had the documents, but I wasn't able to do any shows to discuss them. So that's going to be one thing that we're going to be going through here coming up soon. What's up, Sarah? Shout out to you over there on Twitter. If you're not following Sarah over there on Twitter, definitely. She is a document queen. Let me share her link on Twitter. So definitely, if you're on Twitter, go follow her and turn that notification on, so that way you get notified. Little checkbox on the bell. That way you get notified when Sarah drops new documents. I usually wait to check things out until I'm live on a show. I did check out just a small amount because I I wanted to talk about him earlier this week, but I just couldn't because of the ear infection. But have either of you been able to check out those documents and all? And even in chat, let me know as well. What did you guys think? Was there anything shocking to you? Nothing shocking to me because I already was told Kaylee's specific injuries a couple weeks after it took place, so I already knew what
Yeah.
happened to her, especially facially. Um, is there anything that shocked you or stood out that, you know, we've kind of talked about possible injuries and such, and now the autopsy stuff came out?
Well, I kind of skimmed them, but in light of like everything that has come out recently, I went to Ethan's first, because I wanted to know about like, did they mention the initial, seeing anything to do with his hands? And they mentioned only that his hands were bagged. They didn't describe taking those off or anything, which was strange because in some of the others they did talk about the hands. They talked about some of the injuries to their hands. So I went straight to that, and there
Oh,
was
the
no
hand that was
description.
holding the hair clump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was nothing
Mhm.
about it.
Isn't that amazing? No one tested that.
Isn't it wild?
And to not put it in the report as well. I mean,
Well, and to also sit there in front of the judge and tell the judge that you were satisfied with your defense.
yeah.
Like, seriously.
How?
Like, seriously. How do you not? You have freaking hair that doesn't get tested. As much people want to jump on, and listen, I already told you how my opinions changed on Ann Taylor since finding out that hair wasn't tested and she didn't care to have it tested. But at the same time, you got to look at the main source of the whole reason why it's even being discussed. And it's like, why didn't you stand up and say that you were not satisfied? Like, if you really didn't do it, let's be honest, right? Because, oh, he was forced and this and that. I've always said, why do you take the plea deal? It doesn't make sense to me. Then when I find out the hair's not tested, it's like, damn, I feel like, shit, people are stabbing me in the back, my own defense. But then at the same time, because you hear lawyers say the same thing, and they'll sit there and say, but again, if they didn't have the hair tested, why didn't you state that you weren't satisfied with your defense if you didn't do it?
Right.
Because that right there, if you were trying to avoid the death, any freaking excuse that somebody wants to make, that's the reason why he took the plea deal. Every one of those reasons, you can put them all in the same bag, because if you didn't do it, you would have said right there, no, I'm not satisfied with my counsel because they didn't properly test evidence that should be hair, death grip. Like, you could tell a rookie cop walks into a crime scene, a victim has a clump of freaking hair in their hand, the cop is going to automatically go, that's probably the person that committed the crime. So I really need to focus on that evidence.
Mhm.
Right as soon as they walk in. A rookie.
Clump of DNA he's
Right.
holding in his hand.
A rookie. So, yeah, you can sit there and say, no, I'm not satisfied. Now, is it going to drag out more? Yes, because then you're going to have to change the defense. There's a process to it. Excuse me. But at the same time, if you didn't do it and there's other evidence to show that that wasn't you, well, then you say that you're not satisfied with your defense. I don't know. What do you think about that? Like it's just, I hear all the stuff and I get you. The evidence never made sense to me. Why do you think I went out there and did the work that I did? I fucking went there and did the work that I did. You know what I mean? Like, and it was a lot of work. Why would I do that? Just because I had questions about the evidence always had from the first time. From the first not having a press conference for 3 days, I had questions like, why in the hell is there no press conference for 3 days? What happened? I always had questions, but still, the dude took the plea and was satisfied with his counsel, with the hair not being tested, with the chain of custody issues for the knife sheath, with all these things, he was still satisfied.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Something convinced him that that was his best choice, whether he actually was guilty or not. It just makes you wonder the conversation that must have been.
And his state of mind as well.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, when I was on Harsh's show a couple weeks ago, just for a little bit, that he brought up a great point. If you have somebody telling you, like how great it is, you can't see the other side of the you don't get to see the land on the other side of the ocean, but trust me, I can see it. It's everything's fine over there. And then when it comes time for you to, hey, I want to go check it out over there. No, you shouldn't go over there. It's really dangerous now. You don't want to go over there. Trust me. Oh, okay. So I get that, like you have to trust somebody so much that no matter what they tell you, you're going to believe. And I get that. And I understand that. And to me, that would be the only reason why somebody, because nothing else makes any damn sense. But when you're sitting there and they're asking you, that's your opportunity to say no. Before you take this plea deal, because it hasn't been finalized yet. It's the hearing for the plea deal. You could literally say right then, no, I'm not satisfied, and you got more time.
You think maybe they had something on him that was damning and maybe would have put him behind bars regardless, and it scared him enough to take the plea deal? At least have some control of the outcome.
Okay, knowing what he went to school for, knowing how knowledgeable he was about the criminal justice system, how things work, right? Having all that knowledge, you get referred to Washington State University, right? You get referred there. That means you're on a path. You're on a path to all that already. I didn't go to school for that, right? I didn't go to school for that. But when it comes to the evidence and when it comes to what can be argued in the court system, and when we're looking at the evidence that was tied to him and how those pieces of evidence would have, as these documents are coming out, we're starting to see what they had and what they didn't and how they had what they had. And we're sitting there going, wow, there would have been fireworks in this courtroom of each expert witness on each side throwing a whole bunch of guilt and throwing a whole bunch of doubt, and people going, I can see both of these guys saying exactly what's going on, right? Like it would have been that kind of fireworks when it comes to this evidence. And if you've studied all that, you know how things work. You would already be able to sit there without listening to Ann Taylor, looking at the evidence yourself, sitting there going, shit, I definitely have a shot. I definitely have a shot because remember, he had access to all the discovery just as much as Ann Taylor, not the gag documents and all this other stuff. He had all this time in the world. He had a couple years. He could literally sat there, had the documents with him, go through whatever he wanted to go through. It's his own life. Would you not be invested in your own life? Hey, lawyer, you might have missed this because we don't have enough people to work on this and there's so many documents, so I'm going to be going through them too. Lawyer, you might have missed this one, this document right here. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, add that in. Like, you would be invested, right? So you would see this evidence and you'd be able to sit there and go, unredacted evidence and everything, and you'd be able to go, oh man, this is easily going to be argued in court. You're meeting with the experts that are going to be defending you on the stand with their testimony. You're talking with them. They and Ann Taylor, it can all be explained to you when it comes to their expertise and what it pertains to what you're looking at or researching. You have an even better understanding of how that evidence is going to be argued and could be argued, which would even give you more confidence of how you would even have a better shot at having certain evidence being argued. Um, I don't see how you let that happen. I just don't.
None of
There-
it
I
makes
guess.
sense to me. Sorry.
Sorry. I guess that it's like it's possible that there's just something that we haven't seen that like pushed him to make that decision.
I think he was part of it. I think he was the
Mm-hmm.
brains. Like I said, from when we first started looking at it in early on first month, like this is a 2-person job.
Mhm.
And there was somebody that was the brains, just like Nancy Guthrie. There's somebody that's the brains and somebody that's the fall guy. Unfortunately, the fall guy was smarter than the guy with the brains because the fall guy is the one who placed the guy's brain DNA on the fucking knife sheath while he skipped the hell out. Like, he actually ended up being smarter than the brains. The guinea pig outsmarted the mastermind.
Yeah, and I guess
Two people.
that I mean that's also like in terms of all of that stuff that we're talking about alternative suspects. I would wonder in that case, like, did the alternative suspects come from some kind of investigation, or did he actually say, I think it's like you should look into these people? Like, I'd really like to know the origin of that.
They never, if he did, they would have been brought up in trial and they would have been a star witness.
Mm.
And they would have been investigated too. Like, if he specifically named a person, but when, like, you got, okay, so he was a criminal earlier, right? When he was a teen, he was robbing houses, he was doing things, right? He already knew the code. He already knew the code back then because he was committing crimes and he wasn't getting busted. The people that were committing the crimes with him were, you don't snitch on your cohorts. So to him, he's not going to snitch. Hey, I might have got caught. That's the chance you take when you commit a crime. You're not always going to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be part of that code where it's like, look, if you get busted, you don't say shit about me. If I get busted, I don't say shit about you. You can have the satisfaction, if it's a 2-person crime. Okay, yeah, I effed up and I got caught. But you also have that satisfaction in the back of your mind that your buddy is still running free, and keep running free, bro, because you didn't get caught. I did. I messed up, whatever. Not everybody's going to
Mhm.
snitch on their cohort. Some are going to take it to the grave.
Yeah. And I think what's most, I suppose, interesting about this whole thing is what I would want to know is what was the source of that change. So it was not listen to me, not guilty, and it was all like fighting this, going to trial, and then it was very abrupt. So I would like to know, what was that trigger? Was it something that they found about him? What was it? Because I think one thing we can all agree on is that it was abrupt. It was like an about turn.
When you're listening to Turvey and Whitcomb and all this stuff, Cy Ray, you're hearing things about why Ann Taylor would have went to trial, right? The questionable things like, oh, this happened 4 days before the plea. Oh, this happened, da 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 da. Questionable things that would make you go, oh, we need to take this to trial. Not, oh shit, we need to hurry up and make a plea deal with the prosecution. There wasn't any of that. So it had to be something on the prosecution side that then made the defense go, oh shit, like, this is there's no way out of this. And so what I'm wondering is, because there was all the whole time they couldn't get specific documents from the FBI when it came to the DNA link, right? We don't have access to this, this, and that. I'm wondering if at the last minute, and I don't know how it works, because it would have to be part of a discovery if it's going to get introduced to the trial. It would already have to be in there. The only thing is I'm thinking of maybe the prosecution didn't even realize that that paperwork from the FBI was already in the discovery. Like they had so many papers too. Their organization was horrible. Maybe the
Sounds
whole
like it.
time that Ann Taylor was asking for something specific, they're like, look, we handed over everything. We can keep asking. And they could have been like, well, we gave it to you. We don't know where it's at. Well, we don't have it, because they're not really looking, and there's that confusion. And then all of a sudden at the last minute, somebody on the prosecution side comes across this FBI document. I don't know. Or some kind of document that just solidifies his DNA link. And there's like, you can't, maybe it got to a point where it was like, look, we can argue the placement of the sheath. We can argue how different officers stated it was in different locations. We can argue all these things. But when it comes to the DNA and it is linked to him, there's nothing that there's no way we can escape it. That's the only other way, because I don't see, like, think about it. Why wouldn't, if it was the defense reaching out to the prosecution for this plea deal, don't you think the defense would have said, well, we're not going to accept any plea deal unless you accept the death penalty with the plea? Don't you think that they would have wanted that to be included, instead of them going, okay, yeah, we'll take the death penalty off, no problem, yeah. To me, it seems like the prosecution knew that they had a more solid link to convict him, and also they wanted to do it before trial because they knew that a lot of their evidence could create reasonable doubt, which they could end up with him getting let go. So I think it was a combo motivation. I don't know what that could be, though. What do you guys think it could be? I don't know. They had to have just come across the document. I don't know. I don't know what it would, because they didn't.
There's something there, because if you look at his behavior before, he was very odd, doing very odd things that look guilty. Then you have, all these evidence that, in my mind, it just barely proves that he was in that house doing those things. And it just wasn't strong enough for me. But you can't dismiss, no matter how you look at it, he did some really odd things that were just they look guilty. They really did. But throughout this whole trial, I've always felt that there's an important piece of information somebody has, and they've just been using it within the courts to just terrorize everyone, it seems like, and push to get him to take that plea. And for whatever reason, they don't want us to know what this information is. But it's obvious. The crime doesn't make sense that he was there by himself and caused that much violence and damage to those people. And there's no witnesses, no one's come forward. I heard, I saw, nothing. And none of that makes sense to me.
Well, this is what does make sense to me. is that he was the brains. He went and dropped off the brawn that and then left. Hung around, make sure everything started popping off, and then took off. Not that the crime was done when the car drove away, because this is why no DNA to the victim was found in the cars, because he didn't even go into the frickin' house. He drove the person that was going to do the physical part, drove them and dropped them off. Then
You
he
don't think he
actually
stayed to watch?
no, I think he
Yeah,
really
I think
did
he
go to
did.
see the stars. I think he really did go to see the stars. He
Interesting.
dropped off the person that committed the crime. The person committed the crime, left the house, and then got off on foot, was able to had his car parked down the street somewhere, because his car wasn't going to show up on camera for them to be looking for the car to then look for blood, right? So I guarantee you there's a car out there that has the victim's DNA in it. Nobody just ever needed to look for it because nobody ever thought it was part of the crime because it never ended up on camera. Now, when you're
So,
yeah,
was he a distraction, do you think, then, for whoever was in the house? Who were so
no,
focused on him, no one ever thought to think, well, what if someone else was in there? And while we're looking over here, they've done this and gotten out and gotten away with it. And we're still
like
focused over here looking at Cobra.
and that's what the guinea pig knew, because see, the mastermind can also think that they're a hell of a lot more smarter than they are because they're the ones planning, right? Oh, I'm real smart. I'm planning it
Oh, yeah.
out. I've planned these other ones out in the past. Everything worked out good. I'm smarter. And you got somebody that's just as freaking smart, but you look at them as a guinea pig and you're like, huh, if anybody gets, it's going to be linked to them. But the person that's the partner is just as smart as you and is sitting there going, I know that I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to leave anything behind, but I need to make sure that I leave this behind just in case, because I don't want them coming after me, right? And is so I could see him, like I said, planning. Okay, this is where you go in. This is where you park your car. This is where you leave the property. This is where you walk so you're not getting caught on camera. This is the way you're going to leave. All of these different things. And maybe that person doesn't have that kind of smarts yet to really plan out those particulars, but they know I'm smart enough to leave something else behind so I don't get caught just in case. So, yeah, a thing where I'm going to take you, we're going to drive around, we're going to drive around. I wish I could see if there was more than one person in that car, but unfortunately you can't see if there's really anybody in that car on any of that footage. But to me, with what the evidence shows and what's not there, to me, it's like he dropped the person off. The person was waiting for the right time to do it. Oh, I'm not comfortable yet. Not yet. Not yet. All right, go back around. Go back around. Come back around. Then that person's like, okay, it's good to go. You go drop them off real quick. You're sitting there for a few minutes. You're making sure that they jump the jump the third floor deck. You're making sure that they're walking in there. They're actually going to make it, because you don't want to leave your dude if all of a sudden somebody's coming out the door and he gets spooked and he jumps off the third floor deck and starts running to the car. You don't want to leave him there behind. You want to make sure that he gets in, right? So that's why your car's sitting there for a few minutes. Then you take off and you're like, all right, my part's done. I just got to wait to meet up with him when he's good. So I'm going to go drive south, not even be around here. I'm going to take a long way. I'm going to go see some stars, and then I'm going to go back home. The friend already had the car parked down the road that was already parked there before, commits the crime. Now, being there on that year anniversary, it gets dark up in Idaho at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And when you're talking about the Earth's axis, you're the farthest, all the way up in northern Idaho by Canada, by the way. You are the farthest away from the sun when it comes to the Earth's axis at that period, at that month of the year. And so when you're talking about very minimal city lights, because Moscow and Pullman are the two biggest towns for hours around that area, so you don't have a lot of light pollution. So you don't have that sky gets dark. It gets dark. You saw how dark it was behind the house. There's no street lights in that parking lot behind the house. It is dark as dark can be. If you're wearing black outfit, you're wearing a mask that only shows your nose and your eyes. Not even your nose, just your eyes. You're dressed in all black. You could literally commit the crime, walk out of that door, nobody even frickin' see you. There's so much foliage around. Then you got the darkness of November. There's nobody
Mhm.
that's going to notice you at all. You could literally slip through backyards. You know, there's a path that you can take where you can follow along. You just exit out the back of that house, you go up that hill, and you follow those trees through that neighborhood. And so you're going through people's backyards, you're still next to trees and stuff, you're making it through. And then you can literally end up on the street all the way down the road. That's where your car can be parked. You get in your car because nobody's really noticing you. You're blacked out in a dark as hell sky. You get in your car and you go home. All you have to do is make it home. You make it home, and then you meet up with Koberger. Boom, it's done. Now, what he doesn't know is you left a little something behind, because you don't know if you left some of your DNA. You're the one that committed the crime. You're the one that fought. You don't know if you might have left a hair behind. You don't know if somebody took a clump out of your hair. Maybe that's what made you leave the sheath. Like, shit, man, they got a clump. Oh, man, they pulled out my hair. I need to make sure I leave something from dude. Something from dude. And they're going to go, no, it's this instead of. And think about it. When Turvey was talking about the knife sheath, he was like, it's like it was brand new. It didn't even have any scuff marks on it. It was literally brand new. It
Mhm.
just had some smudges on it, right? And then we're talking about, and I've brought this up since the very beginning, about how the knife sheath might not have been part of the crime. As I was telling people, where's the DNA? It's on the inside of the button snap. What if you just bought a K-bar and man, I'm holding it with gloves, it's cold out. I know that I'm not going to have any DNA on this, right? Because I'm pre-planning shit. I'm pre-planning shit
Mhm.
in my head. Hey, Koberger, check out this fucking K-bar I just bought. And it's, we're wearing gloves because it's cold out. And he grabs it with his hand and he pops it open so he can pull it out. He pops open the button snap with his thumb so he can pull out the K-bar, and he looks at it. Wow, it's a pretty cool knife, man. Puts it back in, closes the button snap, hands it back to his buddy. And then the buddy's like, yep, I'm saving this for when we do this. I'm just saying. That's what the
Yeah.
DNA on the button snap is like. Somebody just opened it up and looked at it and was like, wow, that's cool, and closed it. And, so I don't know. To me, it's I just never from day one saw him being the physical part of this crime. I just never saw it. It was somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do like kind of see him, if he's involved, as somebody who kind of had a fascination with the crime but didn't get fully involved, because, and I'm not saying that's like because of anything that he studied or anything. Like, I studied the same thing as him, but it's like I kind of see that interest where he wants to be involved but didn't go in. Like, so what you're saying does make a lot of sense as a possibility.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because that is that is a crime that's brutal, takes a lot of passion. I've always said from the beginning, to me, Kaylee was the target.
Mm.
You look at just because the couple weeks after the crime happened, and there was people from there like reaching out to me describing like this is her injuries, and I was telling people from then, and when you hear those kind of injuries being described from you, that automatically tells you that that person was the target. That's why I always
Hmm.
argued from the beginning that Kaylee was the target, not Maddie, not Xana, not Ethan, is because I heard those specific injuries about her face.
Yeah.
And now with these autopsy results that come out, can you not agree that when you look at these results and what was done to her face compared to the others, and the types of injuries that Kaylee had compared to others, to me, it's like I said from the beginning, the person that committed this crime made her watch him take her beauty
Hmm.
forever. That person wanted to be the last person that saw her beauty, the person that took her beauty, the person that made her watch him take her beauty before she was gone.
Yeah.
And you look at those injuries, that's exactly what frickin' happened.
Yeah. Um, I guess like the term that came to mind for me was like defacing. Like it's literally what it is.
He was the
Yeah.
last person to see her beauty,
Mm.
and he was the one to take it away.
Yeah.
That right there takes a lot of freaking motivation.
Mm.
That you're talking invested um, passion on that person's part
Oh yeah.
to be
Yeah.
able to do some shit like that, and
And I
not
don't
only
think,
do that.
sorry,
You go ahead.
I don't think it could have been done in the short amount of time
Yeah.
either. That was a lot of damage.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were on some kind of substances, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they were on a lot of meth or something. Like
You would almost
Yeah.
have to be able to do something like that. I couldn't imagine. And then to walk away and, just, "Oh, I'm gonna go grab some lunch now and, never talk
the
about this like it didn't happen."
the
What
adrenaline
kind
only
of
lasts
person
for so
walks
long.
around in public
Yeah.
like that?
Hmm. Yeah, that calmly the next morning.
Mhm.
Exactly. Um, you think you'd be hiding out, right? You think you'd be hiding out. And when it comes to the adrenaline, it only lasts for so long. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking about 4 victims. That
Yeah.
adrenaline is going to last you 2 victims, two and a half. To have that adrenaline spike last for 4 victims, to me, it says substances were involved, substances were used
More than
to
one
fuel.
person
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
I still think that one, the time of night, the kind of weapon, the brutality, I still think that one person, not in that time frame, I don't think it would have been longer, but I still think that one person inside, because you're talking about intoxicated, half asleep. You're like you're not expecting that kind of shit to be going down in your house. Like
Mhm.
there, it's a lot of shock and awe, and a lot of your brain trying to register shit. And so I can see how, when you include alcohol and the amounts of alcohol, we heard how much alcohol was being drank that day, different parties from the morning all through the evening. Um, I can see how there's a lot of shock and awe, and your brain not registering things properly and shit. And it's, I can see. But this is what I can't see is now we heard of all the brutality. These autopsy reports are showing us how brutal it was. It's showing us how even more there should have been somebody hearing this shit going down, right? Like it's not like they
Mm-hmm.
were all asleep and like a silent ninja.
Yeah.
No, this shit was brutal, man. And this is what I don't understand is how it was to everybody else that night. It was completely freaking quiet because we saw how easy it was for that house to get tore down. It was built out of toothpicks. That
Yeah.
doesn't keep sound in very good. How in the hell could the roommates and the neighbors not heard the frickin' screams through those walls? I don't know how it was quiet as crickets for anybody that night.
It's impossible. There
Mm-mm.
is no way. I just don't see it.
No, and I honestly believe there was a huge struggle downstairs before he even made it upstairs. And there was four people. I don't care if you're drunk or not. I mean, if somebody is being brutally unalived in the same house in that manner, I mean, you're going to hear something. You're going to wake up, you're going to go see what's going on. Maybe somebody needs help, somebody might have fallen. And you're going to come across something like that. You're going to fight. You're going to put up a fight.
Yeah.
Someone had to have heard something. I just don't believe the other two roommates were
They
oblivious.
they
And they
had
were
No.
to.
very specific to make sure that they told police that he had bushy eyebrows. They made that a point, and I thought that was very odd that they were insistent on that it had to be Kohlberger because she saw bushy eyebrows. I'm not going to focus on eyebrows in that moment. I'm not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're especially if you think you were drunk and I mean, we know how much she drank too. Like
Hmm.
um
But she had
th-
enough sense to know something was going on, text the other roommate, and then go to her bedroom. So she couldn't have been that out of
Yeah.
it. She knew
I
what
mean,
was going on.
she got
mhm.
there. So yeah, and I mean, I always say, like, I say this every time, but the house I live in has the exact same layout as their house, and I'm on the
Oh.
top floor. And when somebody on the bottom floor opens and closes their door, I can hear it creaking. That there's a
Hmm.
unit in between us. It's not even directly underneath, but I can
Hmm.
hear their door creaking. It's, you know,
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning we were going through their TikTok videos because we wanted to see like how did they not hear anything? How did this 911 call not take place until noon when we're being told that the crime happened between 3 and 4? We're like, how in the hell? Like, so we started looking up their TikTok videos on their social media platforms. We wanted to see how the sound traveled, and it was wild because the sound echoed. It echoed throughout the walls and the halls, and then I can't remember what her name. I think I can't remember what her name was, but we had somebody that was on panel that partied at the house and went to the University of Idaho and told us all about the damn house and how what you're saying exactly, Rosie, that you could hear people all the way downstairs from all the way upstairs.
yeah,
And so it was like, yeah, how did they that? It was already questionable that it was that long that it took for them to call 911. But then when we started listening to the audios, and then in the spring of 2023, I had a guest on that partied there and hung out at that house prior and explained it. And it was just like, yeah, like how do you not, how do you not?
Hmm.
yeah.
But as many questions as that, still, um, you take the plea deal and for what? But yeah, to me, it was always Kaylee, was the target. Um, and you Dylan, obviously, she was in between each one of the crimes and in front of it. Uh, and then she's the reason you got an invite to Kaylee to come there for that weekend. That was her sending out the invite. Hey, and then you bring up the bushy eyebrows, maybe because you knew that the person that committed the crime manicured their eyebrows.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
so
I
you
didn't think
wanted
about
the
that.
you want bushy eyebrows, bushy eyebrows, bushy eyebrows, bushy eyebrows, because you already know. If I say bushy, it's the complete opposite of manicured. They ain't gonna be looking for manicured. They're gonna be looking for bushy.
She may have been told that Koberger was to take the fall.
Mm.
That
I
that could
mean,
have been
you.
also that
Uh,
was whispered in her ear, hey, if anyone asks, this is who you think did it.
right.
Yeah.
It's so corrupt up there. Like, and the university has them under a stranglehold. Every one of them. The community, the business owners. I mean, think about it. How when I went out there for my trip on the year anniversary, remember when we discovered that we started discovering the backdoor deals that they were doing with the University of Phoenix, remember? We also discovered on my trip out there, I mean, we discovered a lot of shit. We also discovered that the University of Idaho was doing a secret deal to lease university land to Home Depot. Is that who it was? I can't. It was one of these businesses. Does anybody remember from back then? I think it
Mm-mm.
was Home Depot. So, university land that was given to the university from the community was only meant to be used for agricultural and university property. And the university was lending out this land for some huge store like Home Depot. And the community was pissed because they're like, you can't do that. And the university is like, yeah, we can. And we're going to do it anyway, whether you like it or not. Like, that's
Mm.
the kind of stranglehold that they have. Somebody will remember from the show back then. It's been so long for me, and there's been so many things that, um, but yeah, that was one of them. We just uh, exposed the whole little backdoor
Yeah.
deal that they were doing to lease off their land, and they weren't going to give any money. Thank you, Caddy. And they weren't going to give any money to the community. They were going to pocket it all from Home Depot. So they were leasing out university land that was for the university, that was supposed to be used for the university, to then lease it out to a business that was going to have direct competition from the mom and pop shops in Moscow, which they were getting pissed too. And then they were going to pocket all the money. It was how that was going to go down. And yeah, and that was at the same time that they were trying to do this, start to do the same kind of backdoor, we're going to do it no matter what, with the University of Phoenix. And thank God there was enough pressure that actually they got enough pressure publicly to not do that, because they were about to get screwed over from that too. Even the guy on Idaho Statesman came out and was like, yeah, they just dropped it on us. Like, we only had a day and a half to vote, and we had a day and a half to try and even assemble a way to get a vote taken. We didn't even have, like, we just had to trust it. Like, that's the kind of stuff that they were doing. So um, they have those students on a stranglehold too, and so yeah, you saw how the police officer, well, we could do this and we could do this, it was all intimidation. Like, hey, we're being the cool guy with you, we're letting you have loud music, we're letting you party, we're letting you do this, we could do this, we're letting you know. It was that manipulation. Like, hey, we're gonna twist some things, we're gonna bend some rules, so that we're bending rules, and we're cool with it, you're cool with it, but really we could slam you if we really wanted to. And I could see, you look at, you know you could see how they could, how many, how many people probably took charges on shit that they didn't even really do, just because they were pressured from the police, because the police were like, look, if you don't admit to having these weed gummies, then we're gonna fucking make sure that your life's a living hell. I could
Yeah.
definitely see that shit going on too. So maybe they
Mhm.
did. Maybe they told her, like, look, she's crying. I don't know. I don't look. You better say it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or it could be the
Yeah.
liaison, the one that's the buffer in between. I'm sorry that the police are being harsh with you. I'm sorry they're being harsh with you, Dylan.
Mm.
Look, I'm the go-between the families, the university, and the students. It was Koberger. It was Koberger. Oh, it was? Yeah, it was. It was. It was Koberger. Yeah, just
Yeah.
implanting the shit in the mind too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see them being
Yeah.
totally manipulated. I mean, look, they didn't call 911 for 8 fucking hours. They got manipulated already from somebody not to call 911 for 8 hours.
Yeah. And it was like, it just kept compounding in how much worse it could get. So I'm sure that the police, if they were trying to influence anything that they were saying, they probably, or I'm pretty sure, held that time gap against them as well, so that they felt more compelled to say something that they were
Mhm.
told. Yeah.
It's definitely not a good look to not
Mm-mm.
call 911 for that long.
Mm-mm.
I mean, who does that? If that's your bestie and you got tattoos of the, like who fucking doesn't call? I'm
Well,
like,
M.Shirilla doesn't call 911. So it happens.
right? Yeah,
Apparently
she
it does.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear, Rosie, that Mackenzie's dad was on Chris Cuomo last night?
No. Well,
Yeah.
I knew he was somewhere. I just hadn't checked where it was yet. I just saw
You knew
that he
he
was
was
somewhere, and I was like, "Oh my god." Okay.
Yeah.
But
And Chris
yeah.
Cuomo dropped the uncut version before the regular version. So that tells you something. That's going to be a damn good interview. That's going to be a
Yes.
damn good interview. It's an hour and 36 minutes, though. It's a long one.
It sounds worth it. It's
It's a
uncut.
long one. Here,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me click on it real quick and double check because maybe no, it's an hour and 36 minutes. All right. This is what's crazy. Also, when it comes to a different case, isn't it wild that there was second DNA found with A.Kepner?
Yeah. I don't fully.
I don't find
What?
that surprising.
What do you mean? Okay,
She's
tell me
a-
what.
She's a pretty teenage girl about to go to college. She's on vacation.
Oh.
She's going to enjoy herself, and rightly so. That's not a surprise to me, but I don't think it means that someone else did it. The evidence
this
just
is
isn't
what
there,
I
in my
was.
opinion.
This is what it made me wonder. Yeah, you're, sow your seeds. You know what I'm saying? Free bird, sow your seeds. All right. I'm not saying anything about that. What it made me go is, wait a minute, was there another person in there that helped? So I don't know. I don't know the
believe
case
so.
that much. I don't know the case that much to know if the evidence might show that or not. You guys, I know you did some shows on it, Rosie. I'm sure you've looked into it, Jennifer. Like, can you explain to me? So you think it's just DNA from, summer fun on a cruise ship?
I do.
Do you feel the same way, Rosie, based on the evidence, like for the?
I'm not 100% sure. I think that's most likely, just because I think that the case against the stepbrother is so incredibly strong, and I think that I just don't see him having help. I just don't. But also, I feel like we don't really know a lot about it. Like, I feel like there's a lot more to.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that's what motivated him to commit that horrific crime against Anna?
Yeah.
Do you think
I
that's what
that
motivated it? Like he kind of put two and two
like
together, and
a jealousy
Yeah.
outrage. I think that's possible. think it's
considering
much more
her
likely that
injuries and how she passed, you know what I'm saying? And what was done to her also. I mean, geez, dude. Like, geez,
Hmm.
dude.
yeah,
Um,
and his history with her, if we're to believe things that her ex-boyfriend had said and stuff, I think that I could see somebody like that being incredibly jealous and having a fantasy in his head about him and her, and like coming to terms with the fact that that's just not it. It's not happening. Uh, I could see I could see him freaking out that way.
hmm.
Because whatever happened, I don't think it was something that he sat and planned out. I think it was like a spur of the moment thing that he just.
Oh, so you didn't, because this was going to be my next question to you guys. Do you think that he knew he was going to kill her and that's why he did what he did? Because
No.
if he would have did what he did without killing her, man, he would have the trouble. The trouble. I mean, just if she's still alive, like what he did to her, like uh, you're going away for a
Yeah.
long ass time, bro.
So I think that he did what he did, and after which he felt compelled to kill her, um,
So
because of what he had done.
you think it was the sexual motivation first and then the removal of her spirit after, in that order, not the removal of the spirit. I'm going to do this because I'm going to get rid of her.
Hmm.
To you it was sexual motivation first, then because the sexual motivation I got rid of her.
Yeah, it's essentially like committing a crime and then removing the only witness to that crime. So that's how I saw it.
Yeah.
Same with
I
you,
think
Jennifer.
she was having too good of a time, and I think he got too upset. He'd already had this infatuation with her that wasn't being reciprocated, and I think that bothered him and it angered him. And I think he probably saw this other gentleman that she was with, and I think it
Probably
made
heard
him
her
so
talking to him,
enraged.
you know,
Yeah.
sit in the
And he's
same
like, if
room like,
yeah, why him and not me? And he finally just, well, I'm just gonna take what you won't give me.
Yeah.
And I think his anger went so far that he ended her life out of jealousy.
Yeah.
And I
well,
think the evidence shows, I don't think anyone ever went back into that room. It was just the brother and the stepbrother were seen
Yeah.
going in and out. And I think he even sticks his head out, the stepbrother, to check the hallway to see if anyone's coming before he leaves. So he has this guilty behavior that is being caught on camera, and there's no one else that I am aware of. There's no one else seen on camera going in and out of that room
I don't think
except
there is.
the
No.
three kids.
Yeah.
so why do you, this is what was surprising to me is and I apologize, I was kind of out of it with this ear infection a week, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember for sure, but he was. We know that he's been chilling on a property with his uncle, um, secluded property.
Yeah.
Uh, but why do you think he is not in custody? Like, how does this happen? You commit this crime, you're that old. How many times? I mean, there's been so many people that have been charged as an adult that are younger, way younger than
Yeah.
that didn't even commit as brutal a crime
Hmm.
as this individual. How in the hell is he not sitting in a jail cell? How is he able
I can't
to
make
eat
sense of that.
bacon and eggs every fucking morning and go smell the fresh air and play pickleball? Like, how is he able to do that?
I mean, what's worse than that is he's
I don't get
actually
that.
working. Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. And I
Yeah, he's
think
making money. Yeah.
yeah, he's working for his father. But I a lot of I don't understand why the decision is taking so long on whether he should or shouldn't be put in some kind of pretrial detention, because I know that there was a hearing, and the headlines the next day were all like, set free, and he, Timothy Hudson walks and stuff like that. And from what I understand, the outcome of that hearing was that the judge was still yet to make a decision. So,
I don't get it. Like,
yeah.
it's not like he just choked her out.
Mm,
He assault, like, he arred her,
mm,
like, literally, and then shoving her freaking body under the bed with life jackets and stuffed. Like, what the, like, come on, man. Like, this wasn't just, oh shit, I did so, oh god, and you freak out and you go away and you leave the scene. You
mm.
literally, like, you did what you did, stuffed her, and then, like, I don't, why is anybody taking time to figure out if he should be?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't
So
freaking understand it.
that's the thing is, when they changed it from him being charged as a juvenile to an adult, I don't understand why that decision wasn't looked at then, because it's part of the decision. And for people who are saying, okay, but he has an ankle monitor, I think that's ridiculous. I mean, there's that case with that guy who fled to Italy. He just took the monitor off. He just took it off. He was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm taking that off and leaving. So, I mean, what does it even mean? It's like, I'll just take a trip.
yeah.
I'm going to Canada, and then from there, I think I'll go to Italy. And he's still there. So, yeah, that's what good the
Invisible
ankle monitor is.
fence works better than that, you know? um, yeah, it's because the people that are supposed to be doing their jobs don't freaking do their jobs. And so, yeah, as soon as that ankle monitor gets removed, it automatically sends an alarm back to the person that's supposed to be monitoring it that the ankle monitor has been altered. And so, like,
He's in Italy.
hello, like, and he was able to book a flight and hop on, and
More than
wait for
one.
the
Yeah.
wait for the taxi. All right,
Okay,
enjoy
what's
your
worse than-
peanuts and water. Like, yeah, like, he got to chill back and everything before anybody even
What's
fucking
worse
knew.
than that is he had his Belgium passport with it. Where did he get that? Like, it was like, how did he? I don't know. That case. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this whole time, how in the hell? Like, how in the hell is this dude not sitting in a freaking jail cell? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's not like you need to wonder who did it, what happened. It's all right there. It's on video. You see it. I just don't get it. So yeah, the new DNA was like, whoa, new DNA does, if I would have been more, up to date on the information, I probably wouldn't have got to that. Oh shit, was there somebody else there? Because, but no, it's just, you guys think it's absolutely normal. Nothing, no new crazy DNA twist, like Law and Crime wants to put out
Not
there.
yet.
Not the clickbait. It's, we're not what you want to hear. We're what you need to hear. So there you go. Not crazy DNA twist or some kind of shocking
No.
new evidence. It's no, it's just it was a cruise ship. She was sowing some seeds, and
I
there
think
you
it
go.
is going to work in his favor. I think his lawyers are going to try and paint her in a bad way. Because
They
he's
are.
already, he's not having to sit in juvie. He's not really,
Oh
I mean,
man.
he's working. He's pretty much living a normal life right now. And then this comes out, and I think they're going to run with that. This is their out,
Yeah.
and they're going to run with it.
Or they
I
might
hope not.
also go with like the situation with his mom and medication, and whether or not he should have gotten his medication and didn't, and just a lot of like one
Oh,
thing that I
that's
can say,
probably why right there, Rosie. You just said it right there. That's probably why he's not sitting in a cell.
because I gave him his medication. They're like, okay, if you take your medicine, you can go back there and sell wood or do whatever he's doing. Yeah, I know.
It's all about pampering. It's all about pampering
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah, no, I mean that's possible, but one thing that I do have to say from what I've seen looking into this case is that the family, the extended family, the family, it's very dysfunctional. Like, like
Hmm.
it's not good. Whatever's happening, it's not
Yeah.
like there's a
What,
lot
both
of things.
sides? What, both sides or what?
I don't think I don't have too much of an issue with the biological father of the alleged perpetrator. I think that he's probably fine. Aside from that, disaster everywhere you look. Like it's just bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't know. I don't know too much about it. It's just what I do know is I've been sitting here the whole time just wondering how is this dude not in a jail cell?
Yeah,
How is he able to hang out at his uncle's farm? Like
yeah.
you're basically free, you know.
He is.
You can hang out and play video games all day, and you just can't leave the property. But shit, you're not sitting in a jail cell, so it's a lot better than what it could be. But I really hope, because man, she already had her soul taken away. I would hate to see them twist it around and turn it on her because her parents didn't want to do what they needed to do to make sure that she was safe because they knew about this shit.
Yeah, I think
That's
they
the
did.
worst part of it all, is someone spoke up on her behalf to try and help her, and they dismissed it, completely
Yeah.
dismissed it.
Even
And
the
if they
boyfriend, right?
you always have to take something like that with in the back of your mind, you always that could happen. It could be true. I need to look into it because what if it was true? What if
Yeah.
they had looked into it and found out she would still be here today, possibly? And you definitely don't put one teenage girl in a room with two teenage boys and expect there not to be some sort of issue.
Especially if one
I
of
don't
them has already
understand the
been
decision
chasing,
making
you
behind
know?
that.
Yeah,
I
especially
don't.
if
Yeah,
one has already been chasing the daughter. Like,
They don't, yeah, that's
what?
why it's so horrible. They knew that this was an issue and
yeah.
put them in the same room, didn't check on them. There was
Well,
no checking on them. The mom was
that's
oblivious, I think, to
Well,
she didn't know
yeah.
where those kids were most of the time.
no, there probably wasn't any kind of real supervision either. And also, it was obviously because of money. That's why they did that. But if you have that situation, right, going on, then
I'll be
you,
right back, guys. I
okay.
gotta plug my laptop in. I'll be right back.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Then you as a parent, you know what, honey, for the cruise, you know what? Oh, 1 second. You as a parent should have been, honey, for the cruise. I'm gonna stay in the room with Anna. You stay in the room with the boys, just for the cruise. You know,
Yeah, and that's
like
like,
that's the,
sorry.
no. Go ahead.
No, no. I was just saying, like, that's one of the things that bothers me so much about the parents is that when these things have been queried afterwards, they actually just blame the kids. They say that they wanted to be in the same room, and
They
the
probably tried to
grandparents,
talk them into it. You know, like, hey, it'd be cool for you guys. You can be without
yeah,
supervision. But really, they're like, fuck,
yeah, and
we're not trying to
the
really parent.
grandparents are saying that they are three peas in a pod and they loved each other, and like they didn't even know each other long enough to love each other. That's how new the situation was.
Three peas
And
in a pod.
that's what the grandparents say. And the grandparents also like to say that they did have space in their room. If they weren't getting along, then somebody could have just come to share with them. But that should have been done straight away.
You
And
know,
yeah, like
I'm tired of the gaslighting from the parents of these
so
fucking
much of
cases
it.
that we're talking
Yeah.
about right now. Mackenzie, you know what I'm saying? This shit, it's like, where is the freaking accountability from the people that are supposed to be teaching
Yeah.
people about accountability with
Yeah.
these different
Yeah.
cases? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And it's the grandparents and the mom were the only ones saying that those kids were like peas in a pod and everyone got along and they wanted to be in the same room together. You didn't hear that story from everyone else, and especially not the
Nobody else.
ex-boyfriend of Anna. It was a completely
Yeah.
different story.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
truth is what it was.
Yeah.
The truth.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
him.
they I don't feel that they've been honest at all. I feel like a lot of their efforts have gone towards trying to clear themselves in this. So
How was
that's
Anna really treated? You know what I'm saying? If they're not standing up for her with, dude, they arch your freaking daughter, bro.
Yeah.
He arched your daughter. Like how in the
How is her
hell?
father not? Yeah. Yeah, I would have to
Why
be
are
put
we
in
standing
jail.
up
I
for
would
this
go.
kid?
Exactly.
Why are you not making sure? Man, like what the hell? I don't get it. Like, oh,
You
so
have to
he's
wonder what that does to the family dynamic with their
Well,
marriage
yeah.
and the relationship between there's still two younger kids, isn't there? A boy
or
and a
what
girl?
or what Anna was going through. Like if this is how they're treating her after she gets AR'd from this kid, and this is how they're treating her, it makes me wonder how they treated her when she was alive.
Yeah, and there are a lot of issues. Some of it's rumors, some of it's confirmed. Just in terms of the fact that there is a lot of drama within the family and stuff like that. But one thing that really reminds me of what you're saying is that the father has said now that he doesn't want to testify because he doesn't want to have to go back to the trauma of being in that room and finding her. And it feels to me like even in her passing, he's not there for her. Like it's
Bro.
not about you and how you feel and how traumatized you are. Like go and be there for her at least
Justice for your
once. Just do
daughter,
it now.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that
Yeah, you brought up a really good point about him not even wanting to stand up for her after in court. If I was a
what's up, Scully?
parent, I couldn't imagine not wanting to speak out. And I understand that's also his stepson. I mean, that's got to be a really weird and awkward
Dude!
position to be in. But at the same time,
It's not
that's
like he
his
just
daughter.
choked her. You know what I'm
No,
saying? It's not like he
that's
just choked her. He
exactly.
did some messed up shit, bro.
Yeah, and you have to wonder about the kind of person he is. That I feel like that's a cowardly thing to do, to not stand up in court.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very cowardly.
There's things. I mean, I don't know what is and isn't true, but there's things about what Anna Kepner's father supposedly had done that are not good either. There's
This is news to me.
Oh.
Yeah, not to her.
Okay.
But still levels of
That's
what
where
I
my
thought
brain
too.
went.
I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, oh hell. Well, now I
No.
understand.
Yeah, that made a lot
No.
of sense all of a sudden.
Right.
No, but in terms of just being abusive to the stepchildren, well, not the perpetrator, but his older brother. There was some acts of violence according to that older child. Also, I don't want to judge because I don't know how confirmed this is, but the person that he was married to before he was married to Timothy Hudson's mom, so Anna Kepner's former stepmother, used to be Anna Kepner's babysitter. And I think that they met when she was still, well, she was a babysitter for them when he was still married to Anna's biological mom. And I think that she was pretty young. There's just things, that there's a lot going on.
Yeah, his marriages always brought up a question for me. Very questionable. Like, isn't his first wife, she's not really in Anna's life. Am I correct?
Yeah,
she's
not
got
at all.
some problems that she's dealing with.
She
right?
says that she found out about Anna's passing on the news. So
On the news?
Yeah,
Nobody
that's
told
right.
her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, and I know that who he married afterwards, I think Tabitha is her name. I think that Tabitha's parents tried to get him charged with something, but it didn't stick. But
Hmm.
it is true that she was the babysitter, so you know.
Yeah,
Never mind.
that's always just a bad look
My
Yeah.
on the
gosh.
outside looking in.
Mm,
There's got to be some reason why the dude is not pushing for his daughter to get justice.
I don't
You
Why?
know,
know.
they've
Yeah.
always been that way from the beginning. When this broke, they've always just been kind of dismissive about her, yeah, about Anna in
That
this
poor thing,
situation.
man, your mom isn't around. Your dad is allowing certain things, certain atmospheres to exist that don't
Yeah.
make it safe for you. Um, there's there's got like I just I don't see how you don't stand up for her. Like R is, and to die with being R'd, that's
Mhm.
horrific, man. That's like one of the most brutal ways to die.
And on top of that, you
Like,
take that
how do
way he
you?
tried. Sorry, I think there's a delay on my side now. Sorry.
Hmm.
No, I was just saying, like, on top of that, the way that he just tried to hide her, like, just, just put her there. That's, yeah.
What could be that strong of a force that makes you not even push for your daughter's memory? Like where you'll literally let her memory get tainted because
Yeah.
you don't want your stepson to be in trouble?
I think we're going to watch him do that. I have a very bad feeling that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to sit back
Yeah.
and watch that happen.
And it's not even because he doesn't want the stepson to get in trouble, because they've cut off ties with him. It's because he doesn't want to get in trouble. That's what it is. I mean, they're not supporting the stepson at all.
Oh, okay, hold on. So they cut off ties with the stepson
Including
because because of what he did, but he's not
Mhm.
trying to. So basically, he's trying to keep all of his closet doors shut. The
Mm,
less that I get involved, the
Mhm.
less reason these closet doors have a chance of opening.
yeah,
Yeah.
because even Timothy Hudson's biological mother, um, Anna Kepner's stepmother, she's not supporting her son either. His only support is his biological father and uncle.
Damn, so those must be some really creepy skeletons in that closet.
Yeah.
I
I think there's going to be a big family secret come out, I bet, during this trial. That it's going to surprise us, but not really surprise us. But I
like the
really believe there's going to be some secrets coming out.
like the grandma already knows. Oh, there are three peas in a pod. Grandma already knows, huh?
Yeah, somebody knew, because the stories
Everyone
from the
knows.
family and then people outside the family are so opposite that I really think they were trying to cover something up before this got too big.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think maybe they even possibly knew about the stepson and didn't do anything about it, and I think that they should be accountable for that. There should be some sort of punishment for ignoring somebody coming to you, because I believe it was her ex-boyfriend's father that went to Anna's father and
Oh,
said, "Hey,
wow.
this is what I'm being told.
Both of them.
This is yeah, you need to look
Yeah.
into this. Something is wrong here." And he ignored it.
Wow,
Yeah.
because I heard that the ex-boyfriend reached out to her dad. I didn't know that the
It was
dad
both.
Yeah,
al-
it was actually the
also.
dad. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you've
Oh
got
my
another
gosh.
father coming to you. I mean, that should really get your attention. You should take
Right.
that seriously. any kind of
Yeah.
accusation like that should be taken seriously anyway. You can always find out if it's factual or not, but just to know that that was his daughter and he just said, no, whatever, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's more than one person because it was the boyfriend and the boyfriend's father. They both
Yeah.
spoke to him about it, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
So,
Do you
it's-
think the stepson that committed the crime is going to spill some of those secrets? Like, because to me, it sounds like they didn't even want to acknowledge what was going on, because when they acknowledge, like you guys are saying, then that's more opportunity for them closet doors to open up. So I don't even want to acknowledge shit and pretend like everything's going to be okay and pretend and just hope that nothing happens, because that just means for sure these closet doors might not get propped open. Um,
I think he
Yes.
will spill if it looks like he's possibly going to get found guilty. If they can't use Anna's activities on that
How
boat
could he
against
not?
her, I think they will start spilling secrets
How
so
could he
that
not
he's
get found guilty, though?
not to.
With the crime that he did, I mean, you art her. She obviously didn't want it.
Right. But
Yeah.
it could be there's obviously some mental problems going on. His mother, who was in charge of his medication, was not giving his medication to him properly. So that's
Yeah.
going to dysregulate what he's already got going on.
Okay, well, if
So
you're
you've got
taking
all
medication,
the prosecution can look at all of this and say this wasn't his fault. He wasn't in his right
bullshit,
mind. His
bullshit.
parents set him up for this to happen because she purposely did not give him his medication the way it was supposed to be given, knowing that that could cause problems.
Well, guess
So
what? They need
I
to
could
stop
see them
giving out
using
that
all of this.
medication. They need to stop giving out that medication if it makes people murder and argue.
Yeah.
Quit giving the medication then. Like,
Well,
that's ridiculous.
especially not to a minor.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, the side effects could cause you to murder somebody or are somebody. No. No.
Yeah.
If that's
Yeah,
what
I
it
know.
causes,
Yeah.
no. Oh, didn't mean to do this. It's a bullshit. You did it because that's your shitty ass soul that you have already. This shit just allows more of it to come out. No,
Yeah.
there's no. If that's what it does to people, don't give the medication out.
Yeah.
Come up with something else. That's not no.
I can
No,
see
that-
them trying to use that as
Yeah.
an excuse, a reason why he
Ah.
acted the way he did. He was not in his right mind.
Okay.
And it was through the fault of somebody else. So I'm
That's
hoping the
bullshit.
prosecutors go after.
What state? Florida? Is that where this case is going to be handled? Is in Florida or where at?
Florida. I mean, obviously the crime was international. It was international waters, but the
Well, can an insanity be argued? Like, is that available wherever the case is being handled? Is an insanity defense, like, is that, because some states have it, some states don't. What state is it in? And can you please, like,
well,
can
it
you
is
go?
Florida. Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna be told that the medication not being given to him properly is what made him R and killer, like, dude, I'm so tired of the lack of accountability, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, and the mom is saying that
So, like,
night.
literally, I can go get medication, not take the medication, and go, it made me do this. Sorry. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they're really going to push for that. That and
That
they're going
is
to tarnish
sad.
Anna's reputation.
Well, they have
They're
brought it up
going to do what
already.
they need to do.
Yeah, they brought it up in the custody hearings that happened.
What do you mean?
After, so
Brought up.
they brought up the medication thing when
Give me a
Timothy
fucking break.
Hudson's biological father, I don't know what the word is, sued for custody because there was still a younger daughter in the house, and he wanted custody of her so that she wouldn't be in that situation and near the mother. So
Yeah.
it
Mm-hmm.
was brought up that on the night of the crime, the mom didn't give Timothy his sleeping pills, or it's not actually a sleeping pill, but it's used as a sleeping pill. And she said that she didn't give it to him because he was already asleep. Um, which I mean, it can cause an imbalance anyway, but I think that is what they're heading for because they brought it up. They brought it up in the custody hearings, and they were kind of insinuating that it was such bad parenting that contributed to. I mean, I don't know if they outright
Mhm.
said it, but
He's 17,
mm,
right?
16, yeah, yeah.
Um, and if you like, you don't know the pan is hot, like
Mm,
you don't know at 16, 17 that R is wrong. You don't know
mm,
that at 16, 17 murder is wrong. You don't think that's wrong at 16, 17. Um, what do we expect of our society in the future? Do we really want to, because if we're going to just downplay and be pushovers with everything, what do you think we're going to become as a society over here in the United States of America? Do you think like we're going to actually like we're going to be that quote superpower anymore? Or we like I just I don't get it. Like how in the hell does it even get this way? It's like we're going back to caveman days and shit here. Like there's no common sense. There's
Yeah.
no proper um, thought process. There's no like, hey, uh, just because they take medication and they weren't taking the right dose at the right time, it's okay that they murdered and violated this woman's innocence. Like, it's okay. I don't even get how we get to that point or how we even consider the fact that oh yeah, it might not be his fault. I just don't even get it. It just bothers the shit out of me
I
because
know.
it's like we're watching the de-evolution of the human fucking brain.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things that they've like defense attorneys and stuff have suggested that they're gonna try and come up with, and at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's yeah. He did what
Fire. Mm. Like you're that fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's going to be an ugly trial for poor Anna.
yeah.
Geico caveman. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. What's a court date? What's a court date? Yeah. It is. And it's a game of chess,
Mm,
and it's a bunch of opinions and interests that push this shit. And I'm just like, I don't know. It just, man, I would be so effing mad if, like, how could you? I just think like out of all these cases that have happened, like, why isn't there a bigger cry out for accountability? Like, why isn't there people protesting outside this dude's fucking street that he is held accountable for what the hell he did? Like, oh, it's okay. I don't give a fuck what Anna did. It is never okay to kill her or are her, regardless of
yeah,
whatever
of
reason
course.
you think you
Mhm.
have. Period. Why is
Yeah.
there
There
nobody
doesn't seem
protesting outside?
to be a lot of outrage about this.
None.
You see following the family like you do in other cases.
You
Everyone's
get
just kind
bashed.
of yeah, no one's really had a lot to say. I mean, people have a lot to say about it, but they're not doing much about it. They're not I don't see people like you said
Mm,
protesting. Y- He does I don't think he should be at home. I don't think he should have any sort of freedom right now.
mm,
And that really bothers me that he can be accused of possibly doing this crime and he's just sitting at home. He's making some extra money.
playing Fortnite. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
just hanging
Yeah. I
out.
mean, he's living just a normal life. And then he's going to go to court and he's going to blame it on, my mom didn't give me my medicine, you know, no one listened to me, poor me, and Anna's not this person everyone thought she was, and look at her activities on the boat, and you know, who's really at fault here
Yeah, and I think
for what happened to her.
I
It's
think it's
just going to be an
also
ugly trial.
sorry. I think it's also telling that he's the one who's now saying that he doesn't, or at the time, I don't know if he still is, but saying that he just doesn't remember anything.
That's
Of
a
course
load of
not,
crap. I'm sorry. I'm
Mackenzie.
just going to call that what it
Yeah.
is. That's just
Yeah, I
crap.
know. I
Of
know.
course you don't, Mackenzie. Um, it's the same shit. The parents are the like it's so
Yeah.
yeah. It's like I just don't how it exists where I mean the stuff that took place. The obviously she was being coercively controlled from her fucking family too. Not only him but her family. She couldn't. I just don't see how there's not more of a fight for Anna.
So
And the sad thing is you get bashed by not supporting the fucking kid. Like I didn't wasn't there like in the beginning, like hell, you couldn't even show the kid's damn face because you'd get bashed, and it's like the dude fucking art her and killed her. What are you talking about?
When he was still considered a minor, yeah,
And he's
there was.
well, when you're considered a minor, I get that, but
Mm.
when you're not being considered a minor and you're questioning why this kid isn't in a fucking jail cell, and people bash you because you should be gentle on it. Like, what the fuck? What?
yeah, it
How
kind of
did
makes you
how
wonder
is anybody okay with this?
what else is going on that we're just not aware of yet that's keeping him at home and not in juvie.
It's what you guys are bringing up, the frickin' mental bullshit, the mental bullshit.
So you think they're treating him with kit gloves just in case he doesn't snap and do this again before his trial?
Isn't that what they do with medicine shit most of the time nowadays? It's like the McDonald's hot coffee. I'm going to, back in the day when the frivolous lawsuit started, oh gosh, McDonald's coffee spilled on me because I didn't know it was hot. So I'm going to sue McDonald's because it didn't say the coffee is hot on the cup. It's that stupidity right there. Like, the cup didn't say it was hot. It's that kind of stupidity.
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't take the medicine the right way, so it made me. Well, then the medicine companies need to be charged too.
Yeah.
They do. If the medicine companies are gonna make fucking medicine that if it's not taken properly, it can induce moments to murder and R somebody, take it off the damn shelf. Add that in your disclaimer for side effects. Do something. They should be held. If that's what they're going to use, listen, I'm not saying that they need to be held because if that's what they're going to use as an excuse, the medicine wasn't taken properly and it's because of the medicine. Well, the medicine company needs to be just as liable in this fucking trial. I don't want to hear it. And if they're not going to change their shit, because if you're giving out medicine that makes people want to go kill people and R them, get it off the shelf. It shouldn't even be on there in the first place. Figure out
Especially
another
not
way.
for minors. Put an age limit on those medications.
Figure out another way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And also, I mean, with him being on those medications, it's also concerning because it means that he was presumably assessed by a doctor and he wasn't on medication
from the defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can sit there and tell you whatever, you know, about
Yeah.
medication, because who is going to be able to argue what they're saying about the medication when they're the doctor?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand, but I'm just saying, like, because like Jennifer said, there's mental problems, and I think that obviously we're not doctors, but we can say that there's
Well,
mental
yeah, there
problems.
is. You ard
But
your stepsister and killed her. Yeah, there's
but
some fucking problems.
what he was on was for concentration and insomnia. So something was undetected because of what he ultimately did, is what I'm saying. Like, he should have been on maybe a different medication, or he should have been like in a, I don't know, like something was undetected and not noticed, but he's on medication that you can see that a doctor saw him but missed something, is what I'm trying to say. So that's like kind of concerning. If that
Now,
Again,
do we know for sure?
if the medication induces it, take it off the shelf. You know, I mean,
But
if
yeah.
that's what we're gonna say is medication, it needs to be off the shelf right now, and the company needs to be sued, and they need to be held liable for some of. I mean, if that's what we're doing, I don't think. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. But if
Yeah.
that's what we're doing, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's make sure they're held liable. Let's make sure there's changes, because if medicine is going to induce these kind of things, then is the medicine really worth it? Is it really worth it for one person to not have gas for another person's life to potentially be taken away?
Yeah.
Deal with your fucking gas problem, bro. Like, it's not there. There's no excuse for it. There's no reason for any of it to exist, for any of it to be accepted. There's no reason for any of this to be happening, and I hope that this shit gets more attention. It gets talked about more. It's so wrong, and I feel so bad. You know, you already think, like, you're already sad with what happened to her, but then to think of the environment, the atmosphere that she had to exist in, now knowing, you know, some of these things, and how she was probably just, she probably couldn't have waited to graduate and get the hell out of there, you know? It had to be so claustrophobic for her.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking out for you. Nobody's looking out for your best interest. You even have your own parents fucking allowing shit where you can't even be safe in your own room, let alone the city. It's so it's so sad. That missing student in Japan was found deceased just a little bit ago.
I
I
was
didn't know about
following
that.
that. That's sad.
Yeah, I kind of wondered when you listen to the parents and their story of what took place. It kind of sounded to me like I don't know, he shut his phone off and all these different things. It kind of sounded to me like he was planning on not being stopped from what he wanted to do. I'm not trying to, it's just speculation, it's just alleged, it's just what, in my mind, when I heard the parents and what they were saying went down that day, that morning, to me, it was like, yeah, this dude definitely didn't want anybody knowing where he's going. He wanted to, and I'm wondering if, you know, this was something that was done on purpose. So, but yeah, they found him this morning. It just didn't make sense, you know. Did you guys hear the parents' like events on
Yeah.
what took place? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I honestly thought it was just a case of he was upset. They had a disagreement with his parents. They're on vacation.
I mean, the disagreement
he's a young
wasn't even that huge. It was
No.
nothing. Not
So I
for what he
figured
did,
he was
you know.
Yeah. He was just upset. He turned his phone off. He's like, I'm gonna make them worry about me and make them suffer for a little bit, show them, and and then he'd pop back up and everything would be fine. That's what I really was hoping.
Well,
He was just mad and just didn't want to
well,
talk to anybody.
this is the feeling that I got when I listened to the story. To me, it was like the son wanted the fight. He wanted the fight. He wanted to go off on his own. He wanted. To me, it was. This is the impression I got. They woke up that morning. They said, "All right, we're gonna go sightsee over here," because this whole excuse of why the argument even took place was because they were using unconventional means to map out their fucking vacation. What the fuck, dude? You're gonna get that upset because they didn't use the proper app? No. You wanted that fight to happen. You wanted the distance to be created. You wanted to do what you were gonna do, and you needed it reminded me of, like when people start a fight with you for like little ass shit, and they make it out to be this big ass thing, and you're like, what the hell's even going on? Like, why are you this upset about the
Hmm.
a Fruit Loop that was left on the carpet on accident? Like, what are you this upset for? They just wanted to fucking fight, like, because they wanted to create that distance. Think about in a relationship, and you're sitting there going, why are they fighting? It's because I wanted to leave, and I just didn't want to say why, or you wanted to leave, and whatever. Like, there's times where people will just create shit, blow it out of nothing, because they don't want to be honest with what the real reason is why. We're just going to use this deflection and make it a big deal, so we create separation. I don't know. We'll find out what happens. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird to me. Like, why are you fighting and getting that upset, and you're like, I'm going to go off on my own thing because you're not using the right app, Mom? Like, what? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So it was like, why are we getting that upset? Because they're the ones that paid for the vacation. You are lucky to go along and enjoy it. And so why are you getting mad because they used Google Maps and not some other fucking app that you were so passionate about? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't.
No.
It really doesn't. Like, you're that mad about it. So I don't know. It was just weird when I heard that, and then you hope that they find him or found him safe. But yeah, they found him
Yeah, that's
passed away.
sad.
So yeah, we'll in some future shows coming up, we'll get into the autopsy documents, go through those, dig into those on a specific show, another specific show. We'll watch that uncut interview with Chris Cuomo, and some of this other stuff too. And who knows, maybe we'll do that in one episode where we kind of talk Idaho4 and go through the docs, and then also listen to that interview from Mackenzie's dad, the uncut version from Chris Cuomo. I'm really interested to hear that one. I can't
Yeah, I'm looking
imagine.
forward to watching that. It's going to be entertaining, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially after that last interview we did on, I can't remember the channel, the True Crime News something
I also forgot the channel.
on YouTube. Yeah, True Crime News or something like that. That was the wildest interview that in my opinion, we had heard yet. And now we get to see an hour and 39 minutes of uncut. I imagine it's going to be even wilder than the last one that we used. So we'll see what's up. I am planning a show for later on tonight. I'm not exactly sure what time for sure. So look for a notification to come out at some point this afternoon for this evening. I'll be back tomorrow morning as well, to do another morning show, just to kind of catch up, kind of hang out, and take some live calls tomorrow too. So if you want to call in, hang out tomorrow's show, and we might even do some later tonight. But look out for that notification. I appreciate both of you guys. So happy to have you pop up, Rosee, um, and join us this morning. I wasn't even. I was like, dang, you guys, sorry, Rosie's going to be busy today. And all of a sudden, bloop, bloop, hello. Hey, what's up? But definitely go sub up. Yeah. Yeah. And you hung out for a while, too. It's been, 2 hours, really, since you hung out, right? Damn. What a trooper.
And it wasn't going to be, I was going to just come and say hi, catch up, go.
Right.
Now
just for a minute. And then we sucked you into the conversation. We sucked you into the conversation. Make sure you go sub up to Rosee and Jennifer as well, and Rosee Overtime and My True Crime with Jennifer G. And we'll be back later on tonight. So thanks for hanging out. Again, help us hit that algorithm. The best way is to leave a comment, like, subscribe if you're not, and also share it out to your social medias. Just click copy link, share it out to whichever one. Anytime you share it out to your social media platforms, it makes a humongous difference when it comes to the algorithm. So thank you guys, appreciate it. If there's anything you guys want to mention real quick as we head out, go ahead, and if not, we will see y'all on the next one. Yes, it is free. Thank you, Scully. Appreciate you happening to. All right. Love you guys. Be safe. Enjoy your afternoon. I'm going to do some gaming at the lounge. So if you want to hang out for a little bit, come see me over there. We'll be hanging out before the show tonight. And if I don't see you there, we will see you tonight and tomorrow morning, too. And we got a lot of shows coming up next week. Appreciate you guys. Thank you both. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.